Now, in my opinion, Greg Schiano just absolutely nailed the Rutgers defensive coordinator hire with Travis Johansen after a 64-day coordinator search. This is a smart, calculated move, in my opinion, to revive one of the statistically worst defenses we have ever seen in Big Ten history. And of course, my guys over at the Night Report broke it. Mike Broadbent, Richie O'Leary, those guys over there know them well. They do a great job. They broke it first. Rutgers has a lot of good media. I'm not trying to compare them to other people. They have a lot of good media members, which makes what they did, getting the scoop on all of this and the 60-plus day search, even more impressive, in my opinion. So if we dive into this and talk about, all the stuff with the Travis Johansen fire, first off, Travis Johansen's track record has a ton of success. Even if it's not from the Power Four spotlight yet, he's been a defensive coordinator for 14 years. He's been in Division II, NAIA, and the FCS level, so he just keeps moving right on up the board. We've seen other guys do this. We've seen head coaches do this, and it's worked out for him. In those 11 seasons, 8 defenses ranked in the top 25 at their level. That's the kind of consistent excellence you need to see coming up from the FCS to jump and make that huge leap to the Big Ten. At South Dakota in 2024, his last full year as a defensive coordinator before stepping up to be the head coach, the Coyotes ranked 7th nationally in FCS scoring defense, allowing just 18 points per game. They were 17th in total defense and run defense, shutting down offenses. It's obviously a huge difference in the Big Ten than at the FCS, but it was in the Missouri Valley Football Conference, and that's one of the best conferences out there. And then at Division II at Grandview, they won the 2013 NAIA national title with a defense that ranked top 15 for 6 straight years. Now, translate that to the Big Ten. And for Rutgers, it's only going up from here. And I don't mean that because, like Travis Johansen's like a savant or anything. It's just Rutgers is so bad. What was so bad last year that it can only go up from here. And I think Rutgers fans would agree with me. Rutgers defense was an absolute dumpster fire in 2025, giving up an FBS worth 7.6 yards per play and ranking 117th in scoring defense at 31.8 points allowed per game. It was historically bad in the Big Ten. They need a leader, someone that Schiano can trust to take charge, with Greg Schiano's role continuing to increase outside of football. Travis Johansen's positionless approach is tailor-made for today's college game, especially in the Big Ten. It's all about versatility. Safeties playing kind of like mini linebacker roles, players swapping roles to create mismatches and confuse the quarterback. It's specifically designed to counter a lot of the RPO-heavy spread offenses that dominate the Big Ten. Think about Ohio State, Indiana ran it a ton last year. I think we're going to see probably a good amount of it from Michigan this year under Jason Beck. They're all variations of RPOs to try and confuse the offense. So when they try to ID a linebacker or a safety, the offense will pay if they don't correctly ID who they need to be reading in that play to be able to get the ball out. Johansen's system keeps them simple with what he calls a micro playbook that tweaks weekly. Emphasizing fundamentals so players can fly around without hesitation, not like a Jim Knowles where, it was extremely complex. It was a scheme that didn't allow players to play free and took them years to learn. And, he obviously won at Ohio State, won a national championship, but it took years to get there. You saw the effect of trying to implement it in 1 year at Penn State. It just didn't work. So this offense that Travis Johansen is bringing in is innovative. It's grounded. It's perfect for a league where offenses evolve faster than defenses can adapt. And player development is going to be a big plus with him too. He's been involved in mentoring, coaching, training with at the very least 16 guys that I found, 16 guys who hit the NFL through being drafted, got camp invites, or were undrafted free agents. At South Dakota, he coached back-to-back Missouri Valley Football Conference Defensive Players of the Year too. He had Brock, I hope I'm saying this right, Johansson in 2023, and then I hope I'm saying this right too, and McQueese Grace in 2024, who were both Buck Buchanan finalists. Sophomore corner Mikey Munn was second-team All-American his first year starting, his first time starting in a season, and could be an early candidate that we might see enter the portal and come with Johansson over to Rutgers. Miles Harden, he was a 7th-round draft pick by the Browns in 2024, and he played his rookie season, got 47 tackles as a rookie. This is all proof that Johansson is just isn't just able to develop the talent, but he's able to spot it and set them up well for the future too. And Rutgers, it has solid recruits not only in their system but also in their state. Although the recruiting rankings are starting to notice how many talented players there are in New Jersey, there's also a ton of untapped potential in that state, as Schiano is actively trying to capitalize on that in a better structured system that Schiano can trust and give them the idea of the players they need to recruit toward. For a program like Iowa and Rutgers and some of these other ones, it's so important to have an idea of what kind of player you need to recruit toward, not just, can you find the hidden gem out there, because a lot of finding the hidden gem is finding the right player that fits your system. Johansson isn't from New Jersey, but he is a Minnesota native. He played linebacker at Concordia, which is in Wisconsin, and should give them an opportunity to tap into some of the talent up there as well. Schiano's decision to go outside his bubble is something fans have wanted to see, and quite frankly, I've wanted to see as well. You look at his past hires, Rob Smith, Zach Sparber, they didn't work out, and the defense imploded until Schiano finally stepped in himself. In fact, last season, the best games of the season was when Schiano took over the play calling. And this is a guy that wasn't even running the defense all season. I mean, he probably was. He's the head coach. But you get what I'm saying. Like, he wasn't the defensive coordinator all season. 2 years ago, you had the same story with Joe Harasmiak. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Apologies if I'm getting it wrong. But he was faltering. Schiano learned he needs a proven defensive coordinator to run the show and be the head coach on defense to free him up for head coaching duties like recruiting and program oversight. College football is changing for everyone right now, and it's nice to see Schiano willing to change with it. I think he was willing at other points, but he's actually starting to make the hires around him that it looks like he's more willing now than maybe he would have been before. Johansson checks all the boxes to make this happen. He's experienced, autonomous, and should be signed to a 3-year deal. I think that, from the reporting on this, sounds like it's a long-term commitment out there in Piscataway. No more co-coordinator meddling or anything like that. That this is Johansson's defense. The pay shows how much they're valuing him, with Rutgers offering over $1 million. I've even heard that he might be making more than Harasmiak, who was making $1.25 million. So he's leaving a head gig for this, which shows belief in the vision. And it's not just, it's not like he bombed as a head coach and got fired or anything. He had one season where South Dakota went 10-5, 6-2 in the conference, and got second place. He went to the FCS quarterfinals for the 3rd straight year, and he inherited a perennial power under Bob Nielsen and kept the momentum going, building on his 6 years as defensive coordinator and the associate head coach there as well. Now, I would be lying if I didn't acknowledge there are some concerns that exist here too, right? Great hire by Schiano, but there's some concerns. And part of the reason why it's a great hire is that you made this hire 60 days in. How much really options were there out there? So he has no FBS experience, and that isn't this isn't the old Big Ten where you can kind of squeak by with that. Rutgers isn't banking on a Power 4 or an NFL name. So there will for sure be some growing pains in this. It's not all going to be perfect, but it's what this hire is, with Schiano avoiding the retreads, as showing that he'll be moving into this new era as a head coach. Are they going to go 10-2 next year or anything like that? No, and no one should expect that, okay? It's not what you should be expecting. But I think we're going to see growth, we're going to see improvement, and we're going to see consistency, allowing Greg Schiano to move into other pieces of the head coaching role. This evolution of Schiano's decision-making will be key moving forward in other areas of the program as well. Johansson's upward trajectory is real. He's been very good to elite everywhere he's been. And when you look at others who have taken chances on coordinators like Johansson coming up from the FCS ranks, it can certainly pay off for those teams. You get them on a cheaper deal, and a lot of these guys are able to come in and excel right away, and it works out for him. So his schemes have countered evolving offenses at every step of the way. Big Ten speed and size will certainly test him. It's going to be brand new, but his fundamental first mindset should translate. We'll see how the recruiting does, but he's Midwest based, and Rutgers is investing more in football now than they ever have before. So we'll see what happens with the staff hires that come next. I imagine we'll see Billy Kirch, the defensive coordinator at South Dakota, come as well with Travis Johansen and whoever else Johansson thinks he needs. I'm sure he's going to bring with him. Even if Schiano has a guy on staff that he wants to keep around, and I'm not going to go through the entire staff, but if there's a guy there, I certainly think that this is a prominent enough position, like obviously it's a Big Ten school, to bring on guys from a South Dakota staff to be at the very least an analyst or something like that. So overall, this hire empowers Schiano to lead holistically while infecting fresh, proven energy into a defense that needs it. Johansson's he's not a household name, but Rutgers is set up very well here for the future, and Rutgers fans can be very excited. This could be the spark of what turns a 4-8 season last year into a bowl contender or more this year. So I love this hire, and I'll be rooting for Schiano all the way. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Would love to hear what you guys think, as this is a very interesting hire, and we'll see what happens from here.